How's it going, everyone? Chris here, back with another video. Today is going to be 2 weeks in the making. This is my 2-week recap on my BOBCAT miner. Really excited to make this video because it's been the first time in a couple months I've actually used Excel for my degree. I'm an accounting major, so that's pretty cool. It's a little nerdy thing about me. I've had some trouble, so I'm going to give you guys basically the rundown of what happened, why I have high earnings one day, low earnings a different day, all of the different things that I just tried. And as you can see right here, that's a box. I just got my 5.8 dBi antenna. So I just installed that today. I believe it takes 24 hours for the miner to actually acclimate to the actual new antenna. So I can't give you guys results on that, but I can do another 2-week from that and see if my earnings are higher or lower. What I noticed is I actually used a 4 dBi antenna in the beginning, the one that came with the BOBCAT miner, and then I switched to a 3 dBi, which I bought off of Amazon to see if there was any difference. And during that time, I also moved it around my house to see if there was any difference. And I had it originally set up on my window. I wasn't getting, as much helium as I thought I would. Go figure. And then I literally stood out on my roof and just held it in the air. And I tried it, and I actually got more helium. Then I moved it into different rooms in the house. And just to give you guys also a background on where I live, I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm not close to New York. I'm not close to Philly, but I'm like kind of in the middle. So if you were to look at like the hexagons, like they have hex 3 through hex 12, I think it's just basically like different hexagons, and that's how the helium network is gridded out. If you look at New York, they got all the streets are squared out and all that stuff. This is just the network atmosphere. So I am in the same hexagon as Philly, I believe. I was looking on some different applications, and with some of them I am, with some of them I'm not. I'm not sure what hexagonal sphere I'm in. And then there's also, the coverage, what do you call it? It's the helium, hold on. I'm completely drawing a blank. The transmit scale, that's what it's called. The transmit scale is also a big thing to take into factor. So I'm going to get started because this has been the longest intro I've had. So this is the data right here. Okay, so this is from 7/28 when my miner actually synced and went online to August 9th, which is today. So today's not over, but this is what I've earned in today. I've earned 0.06 helium, and a couple hours ago, it's 5:20 as I'm recording this, I would say about 3 o'clock I put in the new miner, or the new antenna. So just looking at this data, it's kind of hard to analyze, so I made a chart so you guys can see this better. It's beautiful. I'm so excited to get to use all these accounting skills. Okay, so initially I made 30, and I decided to do this in USD. I could probably just real quick. Oh boy. Oh, what did I do? Copy. I can probably just make another chart and change it to, oh my goodness. Okay, I completely messed it up, but I can make a chart later on. I can show you guys HNT, but basically I wanted to do USD just because it makes sense, because the value of helium token changes every day. So the data is also here. It shows the price of helium. It's fluctuating every day. It started out below $13, and now we're at to almost $15. So that's pretty cool. So I've actually earned more, and the halving happened on the 1st. So I started to earn some more, and it started to be valued more. So I started off 28th. Not much going on in the first 2 days. I believe it was just like, I think it was cloudy that day. So if you guys don't know about the antennas, they're like extremely affected with like open water. And I mean that by like lakes and oceans and stuff. Cloudy days, clouds, rain, and sunshine and wind, stuff like that. It actually affects your signal. So if you're on an area where you're on the water, it actually amplifies the signal. If you're on an area, when it's a cloudy day, everyone has a cloudy day, the signal is like dampened, and then sunny and windy, I believe it really doesn't make that big of a difference. But 29th was a great day. I actually made $1.58, and you can actually go out here and it was 0.13 helium. So I was like, oh, that's pretty epic. So then the next couple of days, it sucked. I was making like 30 cents a day. And when I was looking at helium, when I was first buying it, it was saying I was going to make like, other people were making, you know, a helium a day. So that's what I was kind of expecting. But then again, I did order when there was only 20,000 miners online. When I got this up, there was 100,000. So there was a massive increase in the miners on the market. So I expected the rewards to be down, but there was a miner right up the street from me that was making a helium a day. It still is after the halving. So what happened August 1st, 2nd, the end of August 1st, and I'm not too sure. Oh, okay. So it's going by every time I am rewarded. So I actually made $1 or so on the 30th. You can see I've 7:30, 21, 7:30, 7:30. Okay, so 8/1. The halving happened late at night for me where I live, I believe. So on August 1st, I actually was in the process of moving my miner. I had it in my window, then I moved it to the room behind me, then I moved it to the room next to me, and then there's a room diagonal from me. And I tried all of those rooms, so there was a lot of downtime with the miner that day, and then it ended up taking, I believe, like 24 hours. You can see it didn't really bounce back until the 3rd for it to actually get synced up again. And the problem I'm having with my miner is I'm getting 0 witnesses, and there's people near me, but I'm not getting any witnesses. So the rewards I'm getting, it's just as simple. It's like a reward, a reward, a reward, and I'm not sure what the reward is for, but people are witnessing me. So I believe I'm getting witnesses from that. Like the guy that's making 1 helium a day, I'm getting, I believe when he witnesses me, we both get a part of the reward. So that's something to look at. And the helium halving happened on the 1st, and you can see, I mean, it kind of looks like I've actually made more after the halving. I don't know why it's like that, but that's just how it is for me. I think it might also be obviously because I've changed my antenna. I went from the 4 dBi here to the 3 dBi to see if there was any difference, and that could have been it. But it's going to vary from me to you, you're watching, and you know everyone watching is going to be different circumstances because it's all different terrain no matter where we live. I was thinking about moving my miner to a different house, like a couple miles away, because there's no miners near it, and I've been looking at the miners that don't have any other miners near them, and it's like a hit or miss. I'm not too sure how it all works yet. I'm still learning this stuff. It's crazy. So that's like the 2 weeks. That's all the data. You guys can, you know, I've had it up here for a while, so you guys can analyze it, and I'll put this here if you guys also want to look at it. And it tells you all the blocks. There is additional data that it did give you, but I deleted it. It gave me my hotspot address and my wallet address because I just didn't want you guys finding that stuff out. No offense. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea to put my wallet address because you guys could send me stuff if you felt like it. But so that's it for my first 2 weeks, and now it's the 9th. I believe it's been a little over 2 weeks, but I've made overall 1.1 helium, so that's pretty cool. I'm still trying to figure out like all of this stuff. And another thing, I started with a 0.54 transmit scale, and I'm just going to briefly talk about the transmit scale. Let's go to the full video here so you guys can see me in my full glory. So the transmit scale, if I were to go on to Helium and go, let's just go to Philadelphia because that's easy. So you can see how this one has 0.47 transmit scale. So typically you want to get a 1.0 transmit scale, okay? So if I were to go to like this guy, look at that, perfect. Okay, unfortunately they're not making the helium, but they have a 1.0 transmit scale. So if you have a 1 transmit scale, you're going to be making 100% of the helium that you make, that you're supposed to make. If you have below a 1 scale, like all these people in New York, they have 0.87, 0.8, 0.35. That's not good at all. They're making 70% of what they're supposed to make. So I have a 0.47% now. So if you were to look at this, I would have had 2 helium by now in the first 2 weeks, which would have been nice. That would have been, you know, some quick math. I would have made 30 bucks in 2 weeks, which is a lot better than 15 bucks. So that's just how that works. I'm not sure how I can improve my transmit scale. I don't think it's possible. The only way it could actually be improved is if I move my miner, physically move it to a different location, because the transmit scale, to my understanding, is what I talked about earlier with the hexagons. If there is more than a couple people like too close to each other in the hexagons, for the residential area, so it varies. Like in Philadelphia, it would be different than the suburbs of Maryland or something like that. The how close they are to, will affect the transmit scale. So obviously in Philadelphia, I believe they can be closer because they're using a different residential hexagon to measure the distance. But out in the suburbs, it's a bigger hexagon. So if there's multiple miners in a big area, like this one has 17, you can see that's obviously way too much for this area. So they're getting what? That makes zeros. Okay, they're getting 0.14 transmit scale, and they're still making 27 helium. So that's just, to put it in perspective, that's insane. They would be making, they're missing out on what, 76%, 86%? That sounds about right. Yeah, 86% of their earnings, and they're still making a lot of money. We can go to this account, and we can actually see how much helium they have. They might have exported it, but it always takes a while for this stuff to load. But that's just something to consider if you guys I'm sure most of you guys have miners or have miners on the way. Look at that, $24,000, and they would be making like literally 86% more if they had it in a a 1.0 scale. So that's just insane. But like I said, that's something to consider if you guys are looking at getting miners. I cannot believe, oh my god, they have 44 hotspots. I gotta get to know this guy. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting distracted. That's just incredible. 11 helium, 11.8 helium in a day. But obviously they have a lot of hotspots, but still, that's awesome. Good for him, whoever this person is. I keep repeating myself, but yes, that's something to consider. The transmit scale. I believe there are, if you go to the tools here, it gives you options where you can actually, the planning ones, if you go Helium Host, Helium Vision, and Kudzu, I think Helium Vision is the best one, but you do have to pay for it. I'm not paying for any of that stuff. Gives you the option. You can place the hotspot before you place it, and then you can analyze what your earnings would be like if you were in that area, and you input like if you're in the suburbs, if it's a lot of trees, if it's a concrete jungle, stuff like that. So I think that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, please ask me. Also, a question for everyone watching: do you think it would be weird, or have you guys done this? Do you think it would be weird to go and talk to local helium miners near me? And just like knock on the door and ask them questions, because I'm curious to know what they're doing. Like the guy up the street that's making a helium a day, I want to know what he's doing that I'm not doing. So let me know if you guys think that's weird, or if you've done it, or if I shouldn't do it, or if I should do it. Obviously I wouldn't record any of this stuff. This is for my own I want to know like what I can do to improve my thing, and then I could talk about it to you guys. But let me know what you guys think. As always, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. And if I can't answer them correctly, well, I don't know. You guys should still subscribe anyway. I'll talk to you all in the next video, which will be a video talking about the different helium miners and how to set up helium miners properly. More so the BOBCAT miner, just because I'm just still trying to figure that thing out. I have it in the attic right now. I don't know if I should put it on the roof or if I should put it outside my window or whatnot, but I really don't feel like grounding it with a lightning arrestor. Maybe I'll just go for it and see if my house explodes when lightning strikes. But that's it for this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace out.